Angels visited Abram and Sarah in Hebron to inform them of the impending birth of Isaac. Abram had identified a calf for slaughter, but it escaped into the cave of Machpelah, where he discovered the underground water that flows to Jerusalem. 37 years later, and immediately after Abram withheld Isaac from becoming the burnt offering at Jerusalem's Mount Moriah, Abram bought the cave of Machpelah to bury Sarah, who had passed away in their absence. Hebron's water flows under Mount Moriah, downhill to the Gihon spring. This mapped excavation dates back to the early Middle Bronze Age. On a high ridge immediately above the spring, overlooking the valley floor, 4 rooms carved out of bedrock have been discovered. They were once used for processing sacrifices, including one room that contains a perfectly preserved stone matzevah, or monument. More than 100 years ago, explorer Montague Parker mapped the site, but the room containing the matzevah adjacent to Area G was left undiscovered. The large rectangular area is presently being uncovered to expose, for the first time in more than 3,000 years, these underground discoveries for visitors to the city of David. The area of most significant interest lies immediately behind and west of Area G. The crack that appeared in the ground led city officials to declare the area unsafe and order the excavation of this site to proceed. A few weeks later, the excavation was making great progress. Then the discovery of the wall Montague Parker had mapped as Area B, as the excavation approached a depth of 1.5 meters from the bedrock below. Grooves in the bedrock may once have assisted in the dissection of small slaughtered animals in preparation for their being offered, but an altar is yet to be discovered. This maps the distinct features of 4 primary rooms, including the matzevah or monument adjacent to Parker's Area G. The table of the missing altar may be in the area of interest behind Area G. Its frame may have been filled with boulders on each important occasion to establish a ramp to the altar. The altar may have been repeatedly used over thousands of years. Included in these rooms is an oil and grain press, always associated with Jewish offerings. The area of interest is presently blocked behind an ancient wall built along the dotted lines of the current excavation boundary. The patriarch Jacob assumed his name Israel at a matzevah he erected in Luz, which he renamed Beit. According to tradition, he took 12 stones from the adjacent ramp of the altar, which he placed around the place he slept. That night he dreamed of a ladder of angels moving between heaven and earth, and the 12 stones converged. If this is the matzevah of Jacob, its location at this site will redefine Jewish history as it relates to Jerusalem's third and final temple.